Hello, students. Nice to see you. Let me help you with this week's assignment. Get your math notebooks ready. You're always taking notes. When you do your work in any class, have your math notebook ready. So on the top of the page, put the assignment name. And this assignment is Unit 8.4.12, and the first activity in this assignment is called milkshakes. So put that at the top of your paper so that you know what you're doing when you come back and look at it later. Okay, the problem is on my screen. You can read it along with me. It says, Diego and Lynn are drinking milkshakes. Lynn starts with 12 ounces and drinks 1/4 ounce per second. Right there is the problem. You have that on your slides, but what are you going to write in your notebook? So go ahead and just put the name Lynn, and then you want to give that starting information was 12 ounces and 1/4 ounce per second. You can write your units as ounce per second by putting a line to make like a fraction. That's ounce per second. I'm going to label this just a little more. So starting 12 ounces, and then rate, the drinking rate is 1/4 ounce per second. Okay, keep going. Next, the problem gives you information about Diego. Diego starts with 20 ounces and drinks 2/3 ounce per second. So just write that down in your notebook. Diego, he starts with 20 ounces. And the rate that he drinks is 2/3 ounce per second. Look how I wrote that, ounce per second. It looks like a fraction, right? Anyway, those are my units, ounce per every second. There we go. Question number 1. Wait a second, hold on. Before I do question number 1, in case you cannot read my writing, here's what I wrote down. Lynn has 12 ounces and drinks 1/4 ounce per second. Diego has 20 ounces and drinks 2/3 ounce per second. Now, question number 1. How long will it take Lynn and Diego to finish their milkshakes? Show your math to get full credit. Okay, so I'm just going to write in my notes, how long to finish. Okay, this is a 7th grade math problem, but I want to go over it anyway to make sure you have strong math skills. So for Lynn, if he has 12 ounces, I'm going to draw like a line here. And these large ticks are ounces. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm out of space, but that's okay. Look at that number line. It goes all the way up to 12 ounces. Now imagine if I break each ounce into 1/4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Anyway, all I want to do is make a visual. How many 1/4 are there in 12 ounces? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, blah, blah, blah. I keep going. 12 times 4 is how many 1/4 there are. So that is 48 1/4. Remember that he drinks 1/4 per second. So this shows me how many seconds. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6, 7, 8 seconds. Oops. Actually, you don't need to show me this visual to do the problem. You can just do the math. So simply, how long to finish it? is 12 ounces, and then you can look at it as times 4, because that's how many fourths per ounce, and that equals 48. Or you could look at it this way, 12 ounces divided by 1/4. That means how many 1/4 are there in 12 ounces? And that's the same answer, 48. So you know it takes Lynn 48 seconds. You'll need to do the same thing for Diego. Here's a little math to help you. 12 ounces divided by 1/4 ounce gives you how many fourths there are in 12 ounces. So that's going to be the same as 12 times 4. And if you don't believe me, do the math. Keep, change, flip. Remember, when you divide a fraction, it's the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. Ding! Anyway, so that's 48 seconds. Now, what about Diego? How long does it take Diego to drink his milkshake? You're going to do the same thing. For Diego, he starts with 20 ounces and he drinks 2/3 ounce per second. So how many 2/3 are there in 20 ounces? Just divide it and you'll get that, oops, not 2.3, 2/3. So 20 divided by 2/3. There's other ways to think about it, but I think that's the easiest. How many 2/3 are there in 20 ounces? Well, the answer is there's 30 2/3 in 20 ounces. So that's going to be 30 seconds. Now, I'm actually not making the video to teach you the math. I'm making the video so that you check your math and get it right on the assignment. Let's go on to question number 2. Question number 2 says, write an equation for each person that represents the situation. Dun. I've just got some junk on my screen. Well, I'll keep it. This is Lynn's equation. And then what is Diego's equation? Okay, so you're going to do this in your notes before you do it on your slides, right? Go ahead and put in your notes what you're doing. You need an equation. So for Lynn, remember, writing equations, we've been doing this for a long time. This is just like the tank volume problem because the volume's going down. We're going to have V equals volume and T equals time. So Lynn's equation is the volume equals, well, he starts with 12 ounces. And then he's losing volume. So we have a negative rate. The rate that he's losing it is, oops, I don't know why I put another negative. That's a mistake. He's losing volume at a rate of 1/4 ounce per second. So now we're going to put in T for the per second part. It means, and I'm going to show you this in case you missed it before. If you're ever not sure if your equation is correct, make a table and see what you get. So the volume, I'm sorry, please put T on the left side and you'll see why later. T, so when T equals 0, the volume is 12 minus 1/4 times 0, and that is equal to 12. That makes sense. At the starting time, the volume is full, the full 12 ounces. Now I'm going to jump ahead and look at 4 seconds. So when T equals 4, volume equals 12 minus 1/4 times 4. 1/4 times 4 equals 1. So 12 minus 1, that volume equals 11. Now you see how this equation works, but I'm not teaching you equations now. I just want you to check your work. You should have learned this some time ago, and I'm going to keep going now. You need to also write an equation for Diego, but you can do that, right? Diego's volume equals the starting volume minus the rate he's drinking times time. The starting volume for Diego was, I'm going to let you fill that out, okay? Remember, this is the starting volume, and I'm going to make sure you're not just copying me. Put in the starting volume for Diego into his equation. And you can make a table if you need to prove it to yourself. Okay, let's keep going on the assignment. Number 4 says, on the same axis, draw the graphs accurately for this situation. You must have correct slope, intercept, axes, labels, units, and intersection points. So I'm not joking, I'm grading you on all of those. Let me show you what I already have on my graph. I have volume labeled on the y-axis. I have the unit labeled in ounces. I have time labeled on the x-axis and the unit labeled, it's seconds. I already drew a line for Diego's equation. Let me explain it to you, and I'll have it labeled right there for Diego. Okay, let me explain this. Please pay attention. When time equals 0, and I'll put that on here just so you know what I'm talking about. When time equals 0, Diego has a full milkshake, and he starts with 20 ounces. So his line starts here. That makes sense. At t equals 0, he starts with 20 ounces. Okay, now, along this line, along the x-axis, that is when the volume equals nothing. Nothing is left. V equals 0. See, here's V equals 10, V equals 20, but down here, that's V equals 0. So at the ending time, when his milkshake is gone, how long has it been? Well, we found out Diego finishes in 30 seconds. We already calculated that. So that's the next point on your graph. Diego finishes his milkshake in 30 seconds. Your line is going to end exactly there for Diego. Let me summarize. Diego starts with 20 ounces at time equal to 0. And then after 30 seconds, he has 0 more volume after 30 seconds. He drank it all. So that's on the x-axis. Now, what about Lynn's line? You're not finished. You have to draw Lynn's line. But I'm not going to do it for you. I'll let you do that. Look at Lynn's starting volume. And this 48 was supposed to be 48 seconds. That's how long it took Lynn to finish his milkshake. Graph it accurately and label Lynn's name. Okay, get to work, guys. I'll be checking that you have worked accurately and answered all questions. For example, don't forget to explain what the numbers mean in your equations. Get to work, guys. Good job.